Hello, bookish friends. So my name is Emily and this is my channel Books for Life, and today I'm here for a book review and a teacher talk. So I've decided that I want to incorporate some teacher talks into my channel in addition to book reviews, so that if you are an educator, you could think of incorporating young adult literature into your curriculum in new and exciting ways. So today I'm going to be talking about and reviewing Dry by Neil and Jared Shusterman. And this is a father-son duo team who wrote this. I read this in the beginning of May and I absolutely loved it. So if you're unfamiliar, this is a dystopian science fiction novel. So it takes place in the future, specifically in California. And California is in a drought. So they have what they call the tap out, and they have basically cut off all of the water to any homes. So people have no water and pretty much anarchy strikes. So martial law ends up going into effect. Neighborhoods turned into war zones. Neighbors are turning on neighbors just to get even a single sip. And it results in just utter chaos. And this was fantastic. It is scary because it's something that could actually happen, which I love books like that, books that are based on science and things that could really occur in our world. And I think that a lot of students would be really interested in this. Overall, as far as a review goes, I absolutely loved this. This was a 5 out of 5 read for me. I loved that we had different characters, that we were able to get this futuristic story in multiple characters' perspectives. So we could see how this drought affected not just one person, but a lot of different people and different backgrounds and different walks of life, and how some of them survived, some of them didn't, and just like what happened to everyone. The way that this is formatted, you can see that it starts with day 1, Saturday, June 4th, and this is then in Alyssa's perspective. And then it'll switch to Kelton, and this is day 2, Sunday, June 5th. So it will go back and forth between a few different characters. So you have Alyssa, who is the main female protagonist. I believe she is 16. I think she's a junior in high school. And we kind of like start by following her and what her family experiences. And then Kelton is her neighbor, and he's also 16. He goes to the same high school. He's had like a puppy dog crush on Alyssa forever. And then you also have Garrett, who is Alyssa's 10-year-old brother. And then you have Jackie, who is a 19-year-old girl who dropped out of high school, I believe, and she's just kind of like living her life. Like, she will break into a home and stay there for a week or two if they're on vacation, and then leave and then break into a new home. And so she doesn't really have the traditional family that Alyssa and Kelton do. Not that Kelton has a traditional family. His family is a survivalist family, so they have created like a bug out. They have been prepping for doomsday for as long as Kelton can remember, and so they are actually the most equipped to handle this disaster when it finally does strike. And then there are a few other characters that are included throughout. And so one thing that you could use this novel for as a teacher is to just talk about how you can include multiple perspectives in a novel. You could have students read different excerpts from here in different characters' perspectives, and then talk about how this was done and how students can then incorporate this into their writing. So this would be an awesome mentor text to use for multiple perspectives. I really believe in the power of mentor text. I think if we want our students to write, then we need to show them what good writing looks like. And so this would also be an outstanding text to use to show internal dialogue. So like towards the end here, we go through like this one section where you're in Alyssa's head for a couple paragraphs, and then you're in Henry's head, and then you're in Kelton's head, and then you're in Garrett's head, and then you're in Jackie's head. So this is when the tap out has been going on for 4 or 5 days. And so this is an awesome example of internal dialogue and what the characters are going through, like an internal monologue. And so I pulled a section from Garrett, and in his head he's thinking, "Where are you, Mom and Dad? Are you as thirsty as we are? I think I'm gonna die. But if you're already dead, I'm not so scared. Except I am scared, but not so scared. If you're there and you're waiting for me, and if there's water. Or does thirst follow you there? What if that stupid longing for something cold and wet doesn't go away even after you die? I could swallow a river right now. I could drink Niagara Falls. My eyes are open and they hurt when I close them, and they hurt when I open them again. The corners where tears come out feel like someone stuck a pin in them. They're so dry." And then it goes on. That's one great example. You could also pull more from the beginning when Alyssa is talking about the first time she met Jackie. Alyssa: "I saw her first. The way she flew out from a hidden doorway the instant Kelton lost his grip on the gun. That grin on her face when she picked it up. It all happened too fast to react, and all I wanted to do was protect Garrett, who seems to be the only one of the three of us who wants a stranger's brain splattered on the sidewalk today. I will not think about that. Our new threat is this girl. This isn't an epistolary text, however, it does have elements of that because it includes like snapshots. So this is a snapshot from a news channel, and then it has other snapshots throughout. So like this is an activist, and then it has from like a transport vehicle, and then it also has a snapshot of a plant manager, so that you're able to see like how this disaster is affecting not just these main characters, but how it's also affecting the county, the state, the entire country really, and what people are doing about it, because this is including things that like Alyssa and Kelton and Garrett, our main characters, can't see. They don't know what's happening. So it gives us, the reader, a better understanding of what was really happening in this world, which is, I think, crucial in this type of story, because we would want to know how this is affecting other people and if anything is actually even happening. I also love that it will like connect back to like people that we only saw for a split second. For example, in the beginning of the story, Alyssa goes to Costco and she tries to get water. Like 2 or 3 hours, the tap out has been announced, and there's already no water left, and she goes to take this one package of water, and this girl from school, her mom, ends up taking it from her first. So now we get to like fast forward and see what happens to that girl in the grocery store. Just a quick snapshot, like she is at Target and what's happening at Target and what lengths people are going to get water and how they're all waiting in the line and what's going on. So we're able to have like these connections to characters that we're only seeing for a split second and really seeing how this disaster is affecting everyone. Another way to incorporate dry into our classroom would be to use this as a mentor text for descriptive writing. And I pulled 3 different examples. So on page 93, it says, although every other house is now blackened by nightfall, I swear I can make out figures in the street, faintly illuminated by a low-hanging moon. Most everyone in the neighborhood has stepped out of their home to marvel at our light, like moths, entranced by the lick of a hot campfire flame. By having our own electricity supply, my family has made itself the unexpected envy of the neighborhood and a target. So I stand, body trapped in the doorway, stuck between the threshold of what my life once was and what it will soon be, staring into the dark, 100 eyes glowing back in the night. There's so much you can do with that. And then if we fast forward to page 115, only now do I see how dry his lips are. Not just dry, but parched and chapped to the point of bleeding. None of these kids look right. Their skin is thin and almost leprous gray. The corners of their mouths are white with dried spit, and the look in their eyes is almost rabid. Another example that I love focuses not on what other people are looking like, but what has happened to the beach. So page 109, Garrett asks Alyssa, do you hear that? And she responds, I do. It's a sound almost musical and eerily electronic that lingers just beneath the sound of the waves. I walk across the sand and the sound gets louder until I realize it's not just one sound, but many, all blending together. And all at once, I realize what it is. Cell phones, the ringtones of cell phones. There are dozens of them lying in the sand around us, creating an eerie 8-bit symphony, the lost calls of 1,000 souls. So as a teacher, there are so many different ways you could incorporate this into your classroom as a mentor text. I would specifically focus on the use of internal dialogue and internal monologue, the use of incorporating like snapshots of newspaper clips, of newspaper articles, of diary entries from other people. Like I just love how they were able to incorporate what was happening at the airport and what was happening on the thruway. So I think having them look at these snapshots would be really interesting, and having them incorporate that and then into their own writing. You could also introduce and examine descriptive writing from here. So there's definitely a lot you can do. As far as would I put this in my classroom library, the answer is yes. It is completely appropriate. There is nothing wrong with this. I would put this in a 7th through 12th grade classroom any day. It's wonderful, highly recommend, and this is such a great book. So if you read this book, please let me know your thoughts down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll be back with more bookish videos soon. As always, keep reading.